You're like most shippers. You've likely been measuring your shipping costs solely by the weight of your packages, but may have recently become aware that you need to consider both the weight and space of what you're shipping. This is what's known as dim weight. Dim weight, or dimensional weight, is the amount of space that carriers have to account for in order to fit the package on a plane or truck. So how is dim weight calculated? The dimensional weight is determined by measuring the outside of the package with the product inside and multiplying the length, width, and height. The product of this calculation is then divided by 166 for most carriers or by 194 if shipping with the USPS and many regional parcel shipping carriers. For more information about the calculation, search for publicly available carrier rate information or contact your local carrier. Most importantly, how does this affect you? The billable weight, which is the amount you'll be charged for shipping the package, is the higher amount between the actual weight and the dim weight. That means if you aren't considering your packaging, you could be paying significantly more in parcel shipping. Let's take a look at a quick example. Say we're sending out a pair of sneakers in a generic 15 by 15 by 15 box. The actual weight of the box is 1.9 pounds, but most carriers require you round up to the nearest whole number, so we'll use 2 pounds. The cost for this package is approximately $8.60. Now let's calculate the dim pricing for this box. 15 times 15 times 15 divided by 166 equals 20.33. Rounded up, that gives us 21 pounds. Billing at 21 pounds, that increases the shipping cost to $16.01, or almost twice as much as the actual weight pricing. Please note that we're using whole numbers for our dimensions. If one of the dimensions was 15.2, your parcel carrier could round that dimension up to 16 or down to 15 rather than use the actual dimension. Be sure to check with your carrier for their policy. Now let's calculate the dim pricing for a smaller box with dimensions of 7 by 6 by 14. When we multiply the length by width by height and divide by 166, we come up with 3.54 or 4 pounds, because don't forget we have to round up. The 4-pound dim weight package costs $10.17, which is a $5.84 savings from the larger package. You might be thinking, okay, I get it, my packaging affects my costs, but which amount do I pay? This is where billable weight comes into play. As I mentioned earlier, the billable weight, or the amount you actually pay, is the higher of the two between the actual weight and the dimensional weight. If we ship using the bigger box in our first scenario, the dim weight becomes the billable weight, which in our example was $16.01. If we ship using the smaller box, the dim weight is still heavier than the actual weight of 2 pounds, so it becomes the billable weight, but it's only billed at 4 pounds instead of 21 pounds because the box is smaller. We'll talk about different ways to reduce dim costs in another video. For now, there are 2 other key pieces of information to consider. First, any packages under 1 cubic foot sent using USPS domestic priority mail are not subject to dim pricing, which can really help you manage costs for smaller packages. Second, the dim divisor is different for international packages. In the 15 by 15 by 15 example we used earlier, the weight with international dim pricing would actually be 24 pounds because the divisor is 139 instead of 166. Let's quickly recap. What is dim? Dimensional weight measures the capacity of the package, or the space it will occupy on a truck or plane during shipping. How is dim calculated? Dim is calculated by measuring the outside of the package with the product inside it. Multiply the length, width, and height, then divide by 166 for most carriers or 194 for the USPS. What's the actual difference between actual weight, dim weight, and billable weight? The actual weight is the heaviness of the package according to a scale. The dim weight is a dimensional measurement of the space the package takes up. The billable weight is the higher of the 2 rounded up numbers. What else should I know? First, any package less than 1 cubic foot sent using USPS domestic priority mail does not require dim weight pricing. Secondly, the dim divisor changes for international mail from 166 to 139, which can mean more expensive international shipping. I hope this video helped you understand dim weight pricing. For tips on reducing your dimensional weight costs, check out our next video.